If they can find forgiveness, y'all can find forgiveness too.
Pascal.
Speaking of blacklisting, I think it's very interesting that we have Will Smith now being blacklisted, and now we got Monique that is stepping out from the shadows of being blackballed or blacklisted for 13 some odd years. It's almost like they don't have a lot of space on the blacklist, on the blackballed list. So as soon as they go, hey, Will Smith's in there, we got to get somebody out. So they pull out Monique. And the most interesting, unbelievable turn of events here, Monique, and isn't this precious? Monique and Lee Daniels patch precious feud after 13 years, y'all. I'm just saying, it's just interesting how things work out. She'll replace Octavia Spencer in Netflix thriller Demon House. Remember, I have to say this too really quick. With Netflix too, Monique's had been having an issue with Netflix like a mug, with her stand-up comedy specials and all that stuff. So I find this very interesting that Netflix is welcoming her with arms wide open. It's weird. It's very weird to me, but hey, you ain't wrong. First one, Holly weird. Real talk. So welcome to the weirdness that we got. Okay. So let's get into this article. We got the video too. We got a video. It's really beautiful though. I have to say this because the power of forgiveness is really a beautiful one. And one thing that I love about this is how they've finally starting to move forward and move on. Excuse me. Starting to move on and do something different. And I think Monique is, like, I agree, A-Lady. Monique is an incredibly talented woman. She's really, really funny. And she deserved that Oscar when she won for her portrayal in Precious. She kills that movie. But we got some stories to tell. We got some things to talk about. Like I said, it's the unthinkable. I really thought that this would never end. But it looks like it's finally starting to end, which I'm really happy about. Let her get back in some movies, dag nabbit. And also, there's another question I got to pose to you guys here in a little bit once we get to the article, once we get through some of this article. So after not speaking for 13 years, Oscar-winning Precious star Monique has been set by that film's director, Lee Daniels, to replace Octavia Spencer in Demon House, an exorcism film package that Netflix acquired after a brisk auction in January. Spencer had to bow out of the star-studded film because of scheduling conflicts with her Apple TV television show, Truth Be Told. I've only seen like 5 seconds of that show. I wonder if that show is actually any good. But apparently, it's doing very, very well. I guess they're going into their third season over there, which is wild. Monique, who has last worked with Daniels in the celebrated 2009 film Precious that brought her an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, will take over the role of a social worker who helps a family through a series of exorcisms. Demon House reunites Daniels with Oscar-nominated the United States and versus Billie Holiday star Andra Day, who will star with Glenn Close, Don't Look Up's Rob Morgan, Stranger Things' Caleb McLaughlin, I think that's how you say it, and Aunjanue Ellis, later of whom is fresh from an Oscar nomination for King Richard. So star-studded cast, all this stuff. Now, real quick, so that we can kind of get a better understanding of what's going on, I'm going to give you guys kind of a quick breakdown of what happened here. So Lee Daniels got this opportunity to put together and direct this movie called Precious. It was a low-budget, independent film. He brought in his good friend. They were very, very good friends, Monique. Monique got paid about $50,000 for her role. So Then the movie got done, was starting to, make its way around, and the word was getting out there about this movie. So much that you had Tyler Perry and Oprah that stood up and were talking about this movie like, this movie Precious is something else. It is an amazing movie. You need to check it out. And yes, it's a great movie. And I'm going to tell you this too. Monique's performance is fire. She deserved every bit of that statue that she got. She kills it. But she got 50 G's, y'all. 50 G's for her portrayal in that movie. So after this started to create some buzz, this is what it all says in the stories now, okay? Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, Oprah, and the whole lot. Once they got their hands on it, they started to push it even more and get it out there. Started doing some international moves out here. So they asked Monique, can you please go out there, do some press junket, go travel, promote this film, so on and so forth? She said, hey, I was not contractually asked. It's not in my contract to do that. I only got $50,000 for it. And now you're asking me to go travel all over the place. This was not part of my contractual agreement. Okay. Not Will Smith, sorry. Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels take this offensively to the point where they blacklist Monique. Now, Monique goes out there trying to defend herself, trying to defend her brand, her image. They went out of their way to basically blacklist her, saying that she is impossible to work with, so on and so forth. Now, what sucks is that because that image was put out there for everyone to see, before she was able to even rebuttal, as soon as she started to talk, everyone started saying, oh, this girl crazy. Yeah, I can see she's being impossible to work with. See how she's doing this, that, and the third, how she's carrying herself with all this stuff that's going on. Okay. It's because of what they put out there first. They blacklisted her. They really did. They ruined her. Yes, Lori Hensley. They ruined her. And what's interesting is that we all were quick to look at her. We all, even myself, I'm not sitting here saying that. I'm not pointing the fingers. I'm just saying we all were quick to jump on that narrative of she's impossible to work with. Also, I'll say this too. We were quick to believe this whole thing when the entire time she was telling the truth. Interesting, right? There's a moment where she was recording an interview or a conversation that she was having with herself, her husband, who she calls daddy, which I find a little strange, but that's another conversation. They were recording an interview or a conversation, herself, her husband, and Tyler Perry. And even Tyler Perry during this recording is going, I'm so sorry for what we did. He's apologizing for his actions. But people still thought she was crazy for even exposing Tyler Perry during that recording. Then on top of that, people instantly thought she was crazy again when she sat there saying, I should be getting paid more for my Netflix special or for my special that Netflix wants to buy from me. I should be getting paid more. I've done this, this, and this. These are all my accolades. These are all the things that I've accomplished. These are my awards. I'm highly decorated. Yet you are willing to pay Amy Schumer, who steals jokes, X amount of dollars, and you're willing to give me scrappings? People thought she was crazy then too. But then, now we are here. Lee Daniels says in this video, which we're going to see, because there's a lot of clips, different clips of this. And he sits there, he apologizes to her wholeheartedly. But isn't it interesting, though, because of what they put out as a narrative, how quickly we will jump to that narrative and believe that that is exactly what it is. All this time, we thought this girl was absolutely bonkers, y'all. And in fact, She wasn't crazy at all. All she was trying to do was go back and do what she loves, which is to perform, which is to do her business, which is to do her job, tell stories, and make money and survive. And yet you had three people, Daniels, Oprah, and Perry, that stood in front of that right in front of those gates and said, nope, you can't get in. And we're going to tell everybody behind these gates some BS about you that isn't entirely true. Wild stuff, right? Wild stuff. She fought for this. She fought for this for 13 years. So we're going to take a look at some of these videos, y'all, because it's crazy it's crazy to think that this is the kind of stuff that one would have to go through. And never underestimate, I'm going to say it here too, never underestimate the power and the ugliness of a rumor, because we're so quick to believe the rumor and then keep looking. Because of how everything's angled, we just look at somebody like Monique and go, oh yeah, she's just crazy. Yeah, she's crazy. This is the reason why. Look at how she's acting. She's crazy. I even did it myself. I'm going to be real. I did it myself. Okay, I'm guilty of doing that. I'm guilty of doing that. This is the reason why it's so important to look at the facts before you automatically leap into your own assumptions. And yes, verse 1, I agree. It is a full display of an abuse of power. And what sucks, I'm going to hold that part. I got more to say. I got a lot to say about this. I do. You know, this is a talented woman that didn't get a chance to do not a damn thing. And that sucks. But we're going to get into it. But real quick, before we go into this video, please hit that like button down below. Send it to 2,000 likes, please. Real quick. That's so easy for us to do. Hit 2K, please. Hit that like button down below. And again, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. And of course, please hit that subscribe button on my other channel, The Pascal Show Clips. I'm working my way towards 1,000 subscribers over there. I'm putting out more clips and all that over there on that platform. So please hit that subscribe button over there. It's pinned to the top of the chat. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into some of this video. Like I said, there's a bunch of different videos here. So I'm just going to pull this one up. It may be a little discombobulated, but we're going to roll with it. Okay, y'all? Okay.
I don't ever want us to lose that magic again. Now, let me tell you, sometimes in life, you get caught up, you know? When you a nigga and you come from nothing, you get blinded by some shit. And it took me a long time to realize. I am so sorry for hurting you in any way that I do. Y'all, she was my best friend. My best friend. Y'all think that Precious was just, that was God working through both of us. And we gonna fucking do it again.
So there's that video. I mean, there's other ones here too, but and you know, I have some thoughts about this personally. You know, like one, I am happy that she's getting what she wants. I am very, very happy about that. But a part of me is kind of sad. And you might be going, why does this make you sad, Pascal? Why? Well, okay. I'm really, really happy that she's getting the apology that she's been waiting for 13 years. Tyler Perry did apologize to her a few years back. I think Oprah still hasn't said anything, and I think she's just trying to take, I think in her mind, the high road. But the one thing that I think is really sad about this whole thing is that the only reason why she's able to get out here and work again right now is because Lee Daniels has come up to a stage and said he's sorry. She wasn't able to go to any other person, any other avenues to work, to go and do some more movies, to go and do some more TV shows, whatever. Even to go and successfully do some dope ass stand-up shows and tour like a crazy person, really make some serious money and be really successful. For 13 years, she had to sit and wait to get him to go, all right, I'll come over and I'll apologize live. Yes, I'm happy about it. I'm happy that they have come to terms and they're making sweet friendship love together. I'm happy about that. But I feel sad for her that she still has to go through this route so that she can go and work again. Yes, there's positivity. I'm glad that these two Black creators are coming together after 13 years and is showing that forgiveness is an amazing thing and can be it could be beautiful. It could be a very relieving and releasing experience. Finally letting something go. Finally moving on and being better. Also showing that you are being adults. Showing that humans can forgive and can be better. Can learn from their mistakes. But here's the part that frustrates me. She's waited 13 years so she can get that sign of approval so that she can be out here in these Hollywood streets with her head held high, and so that she can step onto a movie set and be respected, and so she can actually work again and not be blacklisted or blackballed as this hard to work with crazy woman who's just all about ego. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm very happy about forgiveness. Even that dance makes me, where he goes, oh, we gonna do it again and all that. It's a beautiful thing. Forgiveness is a beautiful thing. And we all need to do this more often because there's plenty of people, I'm sure, in all of our lives that we have had a grudge with that we still don't even mess. I don't mess with that mother loving shit. You know what I'm saying? Man, I don't mess with that dude. He smells like old cheese. You know what I'm saying? That if you only just sat down and talked like humans, like adults, and pushed away all the petty BS, maybe you guys can come to an actual apology and move forward, either as friends, going down the path of life together as friends, or apart, but at least you'll have clarity. So I do appreciate that. But you see this moment right there where she has her head on his shoulder. It's kind of like 13 years, I can finally work again. 13 years, thank you, I'm not crazy. I told y'all I'm not crazy. Finally, I could work again. But that's why I'm upset, because he had to give the stamp of approval so that she could work again. And that's not how it should be. Because here's the thing. Even with Will Smith, like going back with Will Smith really quick. Even with Will Smith, let's keep it straight funky, y'all. Even if he gets blacklisted, there's going to be plenty of movie makers out here that are going to be down to have him on in their movies because it's Will Smith. That didn't happen for Monique. Even after even after she won that Oscar, didn't even make her talent even more attractive. They just said, well, she's blacklisted by the 3 horsemen of Black Hollywood. Sorry, sweetheart, you're just gonna have to sit and wait your turn. But with Will Smith, he ain't gonna have to worry about a damn thing. Sure, he may not be in those big blockbuster movies ever again, but he's gonna be in a bunch of independent films. He's still gonna be able to exercise his acting muscles. So yeah, I look at this and I'm happy. Real talk. I'm happy for Lee Daniels and for Monique coming to terms and being adults about things and not letting money and fame get in the middle of their relationship. And they actually were able to talk about this and move forward. But at the same damn time, that's still 13 years that she has been waiting for this approval so that she can work again. There's that reality. That is definitely a reality that we need to be looking at. And it's sad. But I will say on a positive note, to end this show or to wrap up this show, I think it's extremely important. Whoops about that. I think it's extremely important to remember that forgiveness is a wonderful thing. And if you have somebody out there that you've had a long standing grudge with, if there's any crack in the door where there's a little shimmer, a little sliver of light, which I mean like redemption, forgiveness, apologies, being able to move on, if you're able to do that, then do it. I look at this too. It's 13 years of a grudge. And they're finally going like this and saying, we're creating together. We're collaborating. Yes, I'm upset, or yes, we were upset, but we moved forward. And as creatives and as mature adults, we are going to push forward, and we're going to show proof positive with this new movie or this new series on Netflix, Demon House. And we're going to do this together. We're going to push forward and we're going to collaborate as storytellers. If they can move on from their 13-year grudge and create together and collaborate, some of y'all out here that have your 13 plus, 20 plus year grudge over that one drunken night you were hanging out with your family and all that BS and something transpired kind of ish, some conversation that went too far or something like that, and y'all still have a grudge for 25 years, if they can find forgiveness, y'all can find forgiveness too. That's all I want to say. Remember that. Remember that. Forgiveness is a wonderful and beautiful thing. And some of us want to keep our grudges and take them to the grave with us. Man, we only have one life, y'all. Okay? Just like that soap opera, one life to live. Okay? We only got one life. You get an opportunity to sit down with that person, your arch nemesis or whatever, I just say, go and do it. Move on. Yeah, sure. You're not going to, maybe you guys won't be best friends, chilling, sharing drinks with each other and all that stuff and telling each other your deepest, darkest secrets anymore, but still you'll be able to move on. That is a chip and huge weight that can be lifted from your shoulders. So I say that. That's what I mean by I see this as a positive. We can all learn from this story.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.